That's honey. What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tuning Status. Today we got another special guest. I want to thank you for coming on once again.
Of course.
Really appreciate it. We're going to continue on this saga of, having the ladies come by and tell their story and really just get the other side of things like that. Once again, major thanks to you guys. I love all the support and DMs and shout outs and the sharing and everything like that. And, let's keep the ball rolling. So today we have Miss
Christina.
Yeah, so we're gonna hear Chop It Up talk about some of the influences you've gotten into as far as the car scene, modeling, just life in general, making the switch and getting over some of the humps, insecurities, and all that stuff like that with your journey.
Yep.
So let's talk about the little bit of the experience that you have with the cars and how you got into the car scene.
Yeah, so almost my entire family has been either into cars, tow truck drivers, mechanics. I've always been around it. My dad was into the cars when he was younger.
Okay.
So that's kind of where it stemmed from. Both my brother and sister are both in the auto community as well.
Okay.
So it just kind of runs in the family at this point. So, growing up, we were around it, but we were never like fully in it. It wasn't until a friend of mine had started modifying his car.
Okay.
And it was like, man, I want to do that. Like, I think I want to get into this.
Bug,
yeah, I was like, that's cool. Like, I want to do this. So, of course, I had a TC. I thought I was like the coolest thing ever in my TC.
What made you get a TC though?
I originally wanted an FRS. And somehow I ended up in the TC. I really don't even know what did it. I don't know if it was just the look of it. Like, I felt like the TC was more girly than like the FRS. Like, I don't know what it was.
Did you regret not getting the FRS?
A little bit now because there's so much more to do with them. And
TC's kind of just been like...
It's like, here's your like Nia lip kit and like, you're done.
I haven't seen a Scion TC in so long.
Faith still has hers.
Yeah. Shout out to Faith.
Yes. She was actually one of the first people who I saw with the TC that like made me want to like, okay, like let's do something here.
Okay.
So I got into that and then it just kind of like spiraled from there. I think my first ever meet was the Mass Tuning Underground.
That was dope. Those days.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
I mean, like looking back at like the old videos and stuff, like seeing Anthony's wagon across from me, like Ariel's car next to me, like all these people that like are so big in the community, like we were starting at nothing. Like we all had like barely modified vehicles. Like it's crazy to like look at, So
that meet was except for leaving. Leaving
was terrible.
When I got home, I smelled like straight gasoline and exhaust because it was like every car.
But again, that was the bug. It was I want to do this. Like this is what I want to get into, and that's what started it. Because when I went to that meet, I want to say my car was like bone stock. Like there was nothing done to it whatsoever. I just wanted to go and experience and meet, for myself, and that was it.
It was dope. Like you're sitting there, you're walking around with friends, chilling. You're watching all types of cars roll in. It was really, really, and it sucked that era kind of ended because these kids will never get to experience that. And even if they could, I don't even know if they know how to like respect an environment like that because, it ended because just one burnout down there. Yeah. Like I can only imagine with what some of these kids would do down there. That's wild.
It's just that culture now that there's no respect anymore. It stinks because, like I said, those were the days. That's what made me have that itch, and it stinks that the younger generation. That's what their itch is to do these takeovers and just the nonsense. Like, just go hang out with your friends, respect the property, like,
and just chill.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
So back to the TC. What was some of the mods what was the big goals that you had for the TC?
Oh God, I thought that was gonna be like the fastest, coolest car like ever. Like you know, that's just the mindset that I went into. And then, you know, I got into the low and slow. It was like, all right, I want to put this thing on bags. I want to, you know, put some nice wheels on it. I want to wrap it. Like that was my vision for it. I got halfway there, and then I realized modding this car was going to cost more than the car was actually worth. Yeah. So it was just my baby, but it was just, you know, liquid wrapped. It had 3 SDM wheels on it, and it was on springs. But
it was something.
It got me from A to B. It got me to the meets. Yeah. At the end of the day, it was hanging out with friends and not actually like modding the car at that point.
Yeah, I can respect it. So after the TC, I mean, what was next? What did you want? Did you want to get more into the cars? Where you're like, you know what, I want to take a break?
So it was in between. I definitely wanted to stay in the car scene. You know, at the time, all my friends, everybody around me was still in the scene. So I knew that I would never leave the scene, having a car or not. But it was at the point of like, you know what, maybe it's time to just like slow it down. I'm getting older, start saving some money. I ended up with a Mazda CX-5. Okay. And it's been a regret. Yeah. I'm sad not having, you know, something to go to shows with. So we'll see what happens, but I'm definitely dying to get back into the scene.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. We'll see. Liberty Walk Kid, bags. You know.
I don't know if we're going to go that far, but
or
I definitely
maybe revisit the FRS though, because now they're really, really cheap, and there's so many mods.
Out. I feel like everybody has them.
But they won't have one like yours though.
That's true, but I definitely think I want to get into something you don't really see too often, so we'll see. We'll see what I have up my sleeve.
Lambo sounds expensive. So, transitioning from the TC, what was next for you in life?
Just life. I mean, I was at the point where like, am I getting too old for this? Like, am I getting too old to be, you know, throwing money at cars instead of saving, you know, for a house or, you know, like, I think everybody goes through that in the scene where it's, whether it's the kids, it's, you know, a husband, a wife, like a house, like where are our priorities? And just having somebody, you know, in the scene to do it with you makes it a little easier to, okay, well, you know, we can do this, but we have to do this first, you know, and that's kind of like where you got to play that line of like, what are the priorities right now? Okay. So
you say having somebody with you in the scene, what was it like for you, you know, dating somebody within the scene, you know, and I've seen you, you know, out of state. What was like traveling, you know, going to out of state shows and, you know, loading up the car? Like, what was some of the experiences for you dating somebody within the scene?
Yeah, I mean, the girls relate that, you know, date in the scene. It's never easy. I mean, it's early mornings, you know, packing up the car, you know, putting it on the trailer, you know, whether you're driving.
Cleaning the car.
Cleaning the car. That was the worst part, I think, of all of it, was every show, like, having to be there at 7 a.m. for roll-in, to sit there and spend 3 hours cleaning the car for it to sit in a show for, an hour or two, get a trophy, and then head home. It's like, but at the end of the day, it's always worth it because, again, the friends are there. It was a good time. Now it's not so much like that because it's all new faces, it's different people. But I mean, the traveling alone, like the long, you know, mornings, the long drives, it was always worth it. Like H2O, I mean, those were the days. Yeah. But like people acting stupid on the strip.
How many times did you go to H2O?
Oh gosh, 3 maybe.
Oh shoot, you got to enjoy it more than I did. I remember that one year that I met up with you.
You stayed with us.
Yeah.
That's
for literally,
right.
I
like
went.
One night.
It was the dumbest
I forgot
thing.
About that.
I literally drove down there, stayed at H2O for 6 hours, turned around and drove back to Mass. I was just like, what, bro? But I don't regret it at all because going down there, I was like, this is fucking nuts, yo. Everybody's like, yo, this right-hand drive, this. Yeah. Oh, I'm hungry. Let's go to BK. I went to BK. There was like 500 cars there. I was like, dog, this is what it looks like if we all just lived in the same city. Right. It was wild.
That's what it needs to be.
What were some of the best moments for you for H2O?
I think the one year of H2O that stood out was the year of like the hurricane or whatever it was that was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, they were like, everybody needs to leave. And I remember everybody being like, well, no, like, this is our week. Like,
I've seen people mobbing through like puddles.
Yeah. Joe Arujo actually got like the coolest picture of my TC going through a puddle that year because it was like, I mean, everything was flooded. I mean, the video that year that Sam did, it was just a movie. Yeah. I mean, that was probably the best year of H2O.
I was so tired. I was just like, yo, I can't function.
Yeah.
But it was dope. It was really dope.
It was always worth it. I mean, nobody would go to sleep until what, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? And you would go to sleep and still hear cars, you know, cruising up and down the strip.
And then I was woken up for some damn like, yo, we got to go get donuts. I'm like, bro. I am tired.
They had the best donuts.
Yo, it was either I was getting woken up for Wawa or for donuts.
Wawa, donuts, and Bad Monkey.
Yo, I got hit with Wawa, and I was just like, yo, this lemonade is fire. I was like, I don't know what the hell this is, but yo, I was like, yo, and ever since then, like when I go to Tuna Evo Philly or whatever,
Philly,
me and LaShawn, we rack up, yo.
People think I'm crazy when I come back with like gallons, but it's just, there's nothing like it.
Nah, hell no, it don't hit the same, yo. Fuck Starbucks. But so what were some of the other shows that you were hitting in the area, you know, with your partner at the time?
In the area, I mean, we were doing IFO, we were doing the mass tuning. I think we did Tuner Evo once or twice. But other than that, I mean, we were traveling a lot. Yeah. I mean, we were doing the Slammed Enough shows.
You did Gatlinburg?
We did Gatlinburg.
I never went to Gatlinburg. So since you're a seasoned vet with H2O, how do you feel like Gatlinburg like stands in comparison to H2O?
It's pretty close.
It is?
It's pretty close. Yeah. I didn't go last year. I heard last year was kind of a little wild. Yeah. But I mean, the year I went, it was H2O. I mean, you're up and down the strip. You're, you know, pulling over. You're mini golfing till 2 a.m. Yeah. I mean, they have go-karts. You know, you do the Sky Bridge. There's just so much to do.
So it's more like a vacation rather than just a car event.
Yeah, it's with H2O, it was the vacation aspect with the cars all the time. This was more go show off your car, but there was things to do because there were things to do on the strip. You know, like the year I went, we ended up meeting up with Panda. We did the Sky Bridge, and
shout out to Panda. We gotta get him on here.
So it's things like that where it's like, yeah, you have your car, you're showing it off, but you're linking up with friends and just having a good time. H2O was more like literally up and down the strip all day long. Yeah. This, you got to experience some other things. You know?
I think it was, I remember I went to H2O and I talked with Jules, and Jules was like, yo, we going to the club. I was just like, what? So I went, yo, and I just remember I was like, I woke up and I was just like, yo, I'm never doing this again. But the wildest moment for H2O for me was like, I was chilling with Eric Cameron. We went back to the hotel room. I'm like, yo, I have to sleep. So I slept, and I woke up, and I hear the guys coming into the place, and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry, about to go out on the street. They're like, yo, you don't want to go outside now. I'm like, what? It's like, yo, we just got yelled at by cops and ARs. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it was like, some dude got pulled over, and I don't know if he tried to fight a cop or ran over the cop or some shit like that, but he ran off into the crowd. Next thing you know, they said that he ran into the bay.
Oh my God.
And I was like, yo, you could have just dipped into the crowd and went into a room. Like,
right.
What are you doing jumping into the bay? Like, you can't escape going that route, bro.
No.
But
no.
Yeah, that's when I knew, like, okay, this is my last year. And then I literally heard the following year, like, people were getting pulled over and towed because of lift kits and all sorts of shit. I was just like, yeah, this is...
The last year that I went, we had gone with the Built to Park crew. And
I remember I went to that.
They ended up towing our friend's Ruckus. I think it was a Ruckus. Because it didn't have plates, and up here you don't have... It was like a whole big thing. But yeah, they ended up towing that.
That's crazy.
They did tow his car too, but it was like the Ruckus, like really.
I know. I remember just seeing him.
And then they closed the bridge too.
Yeah.
They shut down the bridge so you couldn't get in or out. So
that city, they was bugging. I was just like, y'all got that. I'm chilling. Which is crazy because I went to Ocean City twice on the off season.
Yep.
And it's completely different.
I bet it's quiet.
It's quiet. Yo, I went jet skiing. We went to the water park. There was so much to do, but it was just like, yo, it is chill. But talking to the cops, apparently we're not even the bad ones. It's the muscle car guys that come by the week after us that like tear shit up. So
yeah.
But so we talked about the cars. We talked about your ambitions with the TC and getting into the car scene, dating in the car scene. Well, I mean, to tap back kind of into it. So it's like, some of the viewers out there, what some advice would you say that you would have to give from your perspective, dating somebody in the car scene? Like, what's something they should take into consideration or be open-minded to, or some things that they should kind of be like, nah, I'm not, budging on this?
It's definitely a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's something that you either get used to or you don't.
Okay.
If you're going to be in the car scene, expect to be up early, expect to be helping out with the car, expecting, the late nights, the early mornings. It's something that comes with the territory. Obviously, I got into the scene before I even started dating in the scene, because I didn't even know the scene existed, before the TC. I just thought people were out here with like cool looking cars driving around. I didn't realize it was like this whole community. Like,
then you go to your first car meet and you're like, what?
I'm like, oh my God, it's like everybody I've seen on the highway, like all in one, place. But it's definitely, not something you get used to. I mean, like I said, the first one I went to was mass touring. It was late at night. I had never done an early show. I think my first official like show was Yukon, which you're up at 5 a.m. driving out to Connecticut.
For a first show, that's crazy.
Yeah. So it just comes with the territory. I didn't expect to be up at 5 a.m. driving to Yukon, but that was the interest at the time was getting up, going to these meets and these shows, and it's just something that was like, I'm either in it or I'm out, because I like to sleep. So it's like, there's definitely things that you just need to deal with. You either learn to love it or you realize that it's not for you and you move on. But I honestly don't see me ever dating outside of the car scene, because people outside the scene don't see it like we do.
They don't get it.
They don't. They think it's stupid.
Yeah, I know. Because I pull up to say I've gone to weddings and they've seen my car and they're like, that's cool.
Good luck going over speed bumps.
Yeah, I know. You drive that thing like that all the time. They don't get it. Like, I pull into work with my car and they just like,
I was just gonna
is that thing on the ground like that all the time?
Yep. The people at my job now, they're like, how do you drive this? Like, the wheel is under the fender. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
It kind of gets tiring explaining it to like people outside of the community. But again, it's when you're dating in the scene, that's what it comes down to, is like they're either in it or they're not, and they either understand it or they don't. So.
All right, cool. So now this next chapter in life, see that you started modeling. Like, how did you get into that?
So with the modeling, I started just studio modeling. In the studio, just me and a photographer. I had met him through a friend. It was originally just supposed to be like my eyes only, like, let's just see what it does. She was bragging about how like great she felt, the confidence she gained from it. So I'm like, all right, like, let me try this. And they came out so good and I felt so good that I was like, why don't more people like do this? Me and the photographer ended up like really good friends. We did a bunch of shoots together. I incorporated the car stuff into it. I modeled with, a set of wheels. It was just like something I tried to like incorporate. It didn't go far. I mean, I sticked to, the lingerie, the this, the that, because that's where the confidence came in. And then from there, I touched on the car modeling, but I didn't understand it at the time. I was more into the car side of it than the modeling side of it. So I would watch the other models walk around and be like, I have the confidence in the studio. I don't know if I would have that confidence walking around a show with everybody kind of staring at you.
Yeah.
Like when it's you and a photographer, like you get it.
It's more intimate. It's more personal. It's like, hey, it's
you
just
can
me.
mess up and nobody's there like judging you watching. I mean, you're in front of all these people modeling, and it's
some people are vicious, yo. Like even if they're not saying it to your face, they might drop a comment later online or whatever the case is.
Yeah,
that shit hits, yo.
It does. I mean, I've definitely seen the comments on some of the bigger models. I mean, obviously, I'm not like this huge, big, famous model like Faith and all these girls that are doing it, but I mean, the comments come and you're like, wow, like there's people out there that are just tear you down, and you're building that confidence just for people to come in and kind of take that away from you. So getting into the car show modeling took me a long time. The first one that I did was for Tony for Summer Send Off. He gave me a chance and was like, let's just do it, like try it. You either like it or you don't. And I ended up loving it. And
that's dope.
Yeah, so
how hard is it? Because I know for some females, like it becomes a real trust factor, even just finding a photographer to work with. What was that like for you? Just saying, I don't know if I could work with this person, or I heard this about this person, or I want to go into it a blank. Like, how was it even just finding a photographer for you to even get into that?
So again, I met my first photographer through a friend. So obviously I have her saying, he was completely respectful. He was, and that's what you look for. It's really hard for a female these days to find a guy that you can kind of be that person around. I mean, you're in skimpy clothing. Like it's hard to be comfortable in front of even a stranger if you're just shooting with them for the first time. So he was through a friend, so that was easy. The next photographer that I started working with was Paul. He has been like a family friend. He's from Cambridge. He's known like my family forever. He was really cool to work with. He has worked with Linda. He has worked with a bunch of the girls that I know. So obviously I knew that I would be comfortable with him. I worked with him for a few years, and now I found a female photographer, and it's definitely a different vibe than working with a guy.
How so?
She gets it. As a female, she knows what's comfortable and what's not. It's different for a guy because I feel like they're timid and I'm timid, and you can see that in the photos.
As a photographer, I can get it because you're like, yo, I don't want to overstep, but I have this idea in my head that would be really fire, but I don't know if she's going to receive that well.
Right. So it's always that, and it shows on camera. I mean, I look back at my older photos, with the guys, and you can see the difference in my facial expressions too with the guys versus the girl, where I don't care if I'm like full blown out in front of her because she's not looking at me a certain way. Not that all guys are, but in a girl's mindset, you're like, well, what's he going to do with these photos after?
I know.
And it's hard not to think that way.
And then you're watching a Netflix doc on some dude who's got like a whole shit. You're like, no, that was me. I know him.
So it's hard, but it's definitely different working with a female. So I've been working with Rachel now for, I want to say 3 years.
And if you want to shout her out.
Rachel Deanna Photography.
All right,
She's the best. So she has a studio in Manchester, New Hampshire, and Providence, Rhode Island. Yeah, so she's been great. She's definitely built my confidence the last few years. So.
That's what's up. So now in the modeling community, what's that like? Do you guys big each other up? Is there kind of some cattiness? Is it kind of just a mixture of both? Like,
I feel
how is it modeling and meeting new peers?
Yeah, so I feel like, again, back in the day, like the H2O days, there was a lot of cattiness with the models. And I think that was a big thing that turned me off was, who am I coming up as a nobody trying to compete with these higher end, models that have been in the scene already for so many years. It was definitely like, let me know my place. I'm going to step back and stick to my studio stuff and let them, handle the shows. Now I feel like the models are very open. They're helpful. I have a handful of them that I can reach out to at any point and be like, hey, I saw you worked with this guy. You know, what do you think? And they'll put you on. They'll help you. There's no more like, well, he's my photographer. You can't, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was a weird era because it's like, well, I liked his work. Why wouldn't you want to promote that? Get him out there. It's not like that anymore. Now it's like, you want his name? I'll give you his number. Like, here you go. Cool. So that's been nice too. Like, just growing and meeting new people. I mean, again, Rachel holds like studio sessions every now and again where photographers and models all come together, and it's a free event, and you just mingle. You meet people, and you know, you can shoot there. You do free shoots, and I've definitely met a lot of people by doing things like that. So it's been good.
All right. So now we're gonna hit a point where, with the modeling, to stay on that topic with it, let's go with, you know, a top 5. So the top 5 things that you would say is dope or would recommend for somebody getting into modeling, and the top 5 things they should watch out for, or kind of just like kind of suck about being a model.
Oh gosh, put me on the spot. So top 5 things that are great is you definitely build the confidence. It's definitely a confidence builder. I will preach that to the end of the day. Like, it's just the greatest feeling when you have somebody who can make you look and feel good. Especially like girls in the scene who, you know, want to try their hand at it but are scared. Go in a studio and just see how it makes you feel. Like, so
as a woman, would you recommend it to say like, yo, even if you're not getting into the modeling, just get into it, just do it. Just do it. It's kind of like your own.
I feel like every female should do it at least once. At least once. No, even if you have that confidence, like, just go in there and, I mean, the hair, the makeup, the outfits, like, you just go in like a completely different person. That makes you come out just that much more confident. They should all do it.
All right.
They should.
So number 2.
2, I mean, you meet a lot of people. I mean, the car scene, the modeling, when you tie it all in, the amount of people you meet is just like crazy. I mean, I've met one of my like best friends. It's going to sound so weird. I met her through modeling. She doesn't even live here. She lives in Arkansas.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We have never met in person, and she has become literally my best friend through modeling.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So the networking is that,
The networking is crazy.
I believe it. Because with photography, I've got people that, you know, across the pond in, you know, the UK, and they're like, bro, you got to come over here. We got to link up. We got to chill. And we've talked so much online, and I'm just like, yo, I got to make that trip.
Yeah. I mean, I have photographers, you know, LA, like Florida, like they're all over the place. I mean, once you meet somebody, it's just the connection from there, just it goes. So it's definitely cool, the people that you meet.
Okay.
I don't know what else. I mean, it's the connections, it's the confidence, that's just what it is. I mean, I don't know if I can give you a top 5, but.
All right, so things to watch out to when getting into modeling. What's some recommendations that you would have for, you know, some aspiring women that would look into it, or either being professional and, you know, going all in, or just like you said, recommending that one-time shoot? What's some things that you would suggest to kind of like be wary of, stay away from, stuff like that? I
mean, you definitely want to do your research. You don't want to just hit up Joe Schmo off of Instagram because he has a good feed. It's very easy for these photographers to take other people's work and throw it up on their Instagram, and that's what it comes down to. When I'm looking for new photographers, I'll go on their page and see if the models are tagged. That's always key because...
I never even thought about that.
It's a girl thing. You always got to be careful.
I've never even thought about that.
Yep. So you'll go, you know, I just go on, I see if there's girls tagged. If they are, you reach out. Hey girl, I saw that you shot with, you know, so-and-so, you know, how was it, you know? And girls will be honest to girls. If they're a girl's girl, they'll tell you straight up, like, hey, the shoot went great, the photos came out great, but he was a little creepy. But it comes down to, you know, how you feel. I mean, I've brought friends to shoots with me out of just pure safety. Like, hey, I'm shooting with this new guy, you want to come with me? And that's just, you just got to be careful. I mean, you just never know these days.
Yeah.
So it's always better to bring a friend if you can bring a friend if you don't know them. And then, like I said, just doing your research, you know, reaching out to, you know, previous models they've worked with, checking the Instagram, you know, just making sure they're legit so that, you know, you're safe.
Okay. What about preparation, like for the shoot? Like, what's that like?
I'm like extra because I get so nervous. I mean, it'll take me hours to get ready for a shoot because it's like, my hair has to be good. Like, I do my own hair and makeup. They can supply it, but I went to school for it, so I do it myself.
So would you recommend that they hire somebody or they do it themselves, or it's all like their own like comfort level type thing?
I mean, I'd say it's a comfort level because it depends on how crazy you want to get.
Yeah.
I can go in and hire a makeup artist who's going to make me look super glammed out and maybe not look like myself. Or I can do it myself knowing that, you know, I'm going to go a little bit lighter, you know, on the makeup. So it depends on the photos. If you want something, you know, bold and glam, then definitely hire somebody. I mean, it just adds to that confidence boost to have, you know, your makeup done a way that you wouldn't normally have it done. Same with your hair. You know, I wear my hair the same way every day. It's nice to like go in and have somebody else who doesn't know you do what they think looks good on you. So, I mean, if you're just getting into it, I do suggest the hair and the makeup just for that added boost. But if you love it, do it yourself if you can.
Okay. So that's number 2. Now, number 3 to watch out for getting into this thing.
How many people will like watch you? Because if you're modeling, you're gonna start getting that following. I was very private. I didn't put like business out there. And then as the pictures started posting, it was like more and more followers, more and more likes. And now it's, you know, people that I don't know commenting, liking, things like that. So if you wanna stay private, it's probably something, you know, you wanna keep a little bit more on the down low, but it was something that I went from having like a private page to a public page because again, that confidence comes in and you're like, well, I want people to see my work and I want people to see the photographers I work with. So
were there moments where you regret flipping that switch?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Well,
we're keeping it a buck. I can respect it.
Only because the negativity. There's people out there that'll come out and be like, you know, you think you look fantastic and somebody will pinpoint that one little thing that's off. And there's been times where it's like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm just going to shut it down. Like, and I've gone back to private a few times and don't let those people get you down because if they're miserable enough to put you down, it's not worth it.
Okay. So now we're moving on to number 4 as far as things to be wary of getting into. We've talked about preparation. We've talked about confidence boosting and being wary of certain photographers, doing your research, your homework. What's another big thing that you notice being in this, you know, lane that, you know what, I wish I knew this in the beginning?
I don't know. I mean, that's really it. I mean, it's just those couple things you got to look out for, and otherwise just have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
That's all you can do is just enjoy it. Don't let people get you down. Like, if you're loving it, who cares what everybody else thinks?
All right. Well, I can respect it. So now, as we move forward, you know, and we're talking about the modeling career and everything like that, and how's it been for you now with modeling? Do you want to keep it just strictly car related, or do you like pursuing more of the more professional, I guess, boudoir maybe type shoots?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely stemmed out a lot. I mean, like I said, I started with just, you know, outside shoots, studio shoots, you know, that built up the confidence to get into the car shows. You know, there's other platforms that I'm on. And it's just all from gaining that confidence along the way. I don't think I'll ever go professional. It's too strict. It's too, you know, you're on a time constraint. It's like you're traveling, you're doing this, you're doing that. I respect the girls who do it because, I mean, it's a job, you know, it's a job.
I see some of those girls and they're like moving around.
Yeah.
Well, some of the girls that you really like respected in the car scene that's really putting in work.
Linda.
Yeah.
Linda is my girl.
Yeah.
She is killing it right now. She is
Linda.
Killing it right now. Yeah. So I definitely respect her hustle. I mean, she's New Hampshire, Boston, LA. I mean, I don't know how she has time for anything.
Active, yo. Active.
I think she's doing the rally right now. So she's out with the guys right now. She is like killing it. I mean, you know, she's got her car out now. Like she's full in it. I mean, so you have like the Linda, you have, you know, Faith is still doing her thing. I mean, I've known Faith since like 2015.
I know. Jesus, time goes by so fast.
I know.
So I saw her at Tuner Evo last year, and I was just like, "Fuck, dude, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?"
I haven't seen her in a while. We've talked online a few times, but you know, I haven't seen her in a while. But you know, she's killing it. And then, you know, you have Joanna right now, who's she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
So these these models they're definitely killing it right now. So, but yeah, those are definitely three that I've, you know, kept an eye on and have been watching what they're doing, and they're doing good. That's why I say I don't think I could ever do it. Yeah. I mean, they're always on the move.
Full commitment, like it's adjustment with life, and knowing that, hey, you're gonna be sacrificing some things to further your career, right? You know, because it takes a lot of effort in networking. Because with modeling, it's not like, unless you're contracted by a certain agency or something like that, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's not like, hey, I know Monday I'm going in,
you're doing
and Friday I'm
all
punching
your
out.
own stuff.
No, you're literally your own boss.
I mean, even like I said with Linda, like she's packing her own merch. She's shipping out her own merch. I mean, it's not just the modeling. I mean, she does a lot of, you know, behind the scenes stuff, and I don't know if I have the time or the patience. But no, I think I'll keep it for fun for right now. But
So you mentioned other platforms. What's that been like for you doing that?
That's been new.
Yeah.
It's definitely outside of my comfort zone.
Still adjusting to it, or the idea to it, or you think you're kind of okay with it?
I'm okay with it. Going into it's a little, how are people going to take it? You know, you have your close friends, you know, family. Yeah. It's weird. It's, you know, who's...
Oh God, if I started when my grandmother would...
So like... I mean, when my mom found out... You know, my mom found out, and it wasn't like, oh my God. It was just like, what are you doing? And, you know, there's nothing crazy on there. I mean, it's the photos that you can't post on Instagram without getting banned.
Yeah, and Instagram's very strict
for y'all,
They're
very strict.
No lines, no creases,
no cheeks, nothing.
Yo. So it's like, damn, bro, can I be feeling myself for a second?
And you can't. Yeah. I mean, I had a picture recently just taken down, and nothing was even showing.
Yeah, I remember that was half a face battle at one point.
Yeah.
I remember it was a couple years ago. And she had some nice photos that she really took, yo. And then she was just like, damn, dog, like, y'all really gonna get my shit reported up like this? Like,
it's crazy right now. So I think, you know, people look at it as, you know, such this bad thing. Like, oh, all the girls are doing it now. And when it comes down to it, we're just posting the stuff that we can't.
Yeah.
It's just another platform.
If they want to pay for it, it's perks.
Yeah, they want to pay us for it. Why not? I mean, that's definitely the perk of it.
How's the pay though? Like, honestly, like, is it like,
It all depends on how much work you're putting into it. Yeah. You can live off of it.
For real?
There's girls that strictly do it, and that's all they do. But again, it's a lot of work. It's not just a 9-to-5. It's, you know, you're constantly making content. You're constantly coming up with captions. You're constantly trying to figure out, what can I price this at? You know, how everybody's platform is different. Some charge, you know, a straight fee. Some charge per photo. You know, they have customs. There's so many different ways to do it. Yeah. As long as you're putting in the work, you can make some good money.
Yeah. Now, what stopped you from going into saying like, oh, I want to have a manager or a management? Like, what do you feel like stops a lot of? Because I feel like with a lot of these women that are in the scene, Like you see them, but you don't really see a management team backing behind them. It's kind of like they're their own management team. They're their own boss.
I think there's a stigma around having like an agency because you can pay for an agency, but if they're not getting gigs, you're not getting gigs. So what are you paying for? You know, if you can go out and book things on your own, why not? Okay. You know, why spend that money to pay somebody to do exactly what you can do? I get it for the girls who are working a full-time job and don't have time to go out and find gigs, but if you can, I mean, in the car, put it as the car scene. Am I gonna hire an agent to book me car shows, or am I gonna go straight to the car show people that I know who are friends and say, hey, let me model your show?
Yeah.
I'm cutting out that middleman there and making a connection, and now that connection is gonna get me other connections.
Okay, I get it. So, I mean, what's next now?
I don't know. I'm really wanting to get back into the scene.
Yeah, get some acting. I'd like to see you on the TV, yo.
I
know. I think it would be dope. I think it'd be dope to try something new, yo. I think see you on the screen, a little short film, something like that. I think that'd be pretty dope to see you get into.
I don't know. I've never thought of it.
Yeah.
Definitely something to think about, but
try something new, shake it up.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to like, you know, go out of my comfort zone. I'm trying new things, you know. I'm
definitely got the personality for it, though. I think you could do something with it.
I don't know. This is easy because we've been friends for a while.
Yeah.
I'm very shy. Like I'm very quiet.
Try something new.
I know. Maybe.
Along with traveling.
Traveling is a big thing this year.
I know.
I'm definitely...
you got to bring a photographer out there with you, though. Do some shoots. Go to Jamaica. Go to, you know...
I know.
If you could travel, okay, let's say for the summer, though.
Okay.
You're bringing a photographer out with you. Where's 3 places that you would want to shoot?
Oh, I don't know. I'd like to go back to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I feel like there's some cool spots out there, and not just like the San Juan touristy. Like I feel like there's some really like nice places that, you know, maybe only like locals would even know.
You know, you get rainforest,
right, like,
and they eat a little food afterwards, you know. After
definitely,
the shoot,
you gotta keep it nice and tight.
Can't be racking up on pinchos all afternoon.
No, I would love to, but after the shoot. No, definitely just somewhere like beachy. I think I only ever did like one beach shoot.
Don't tell me Revere.
It was.
Oh my God, you stepped on Revere.
Why are you judging me?
Not judging you. It's just the beach, yo.
I lived in Revere for 8 years.
I know, but yo, listen, anybody who's locally, I guess some people who watch this might not, but do not take yourself, your children, your pets anywhere near Revere Beach, yo. Yo, last time I walked through, I felt like I was walking through like 5 minutes of piss just to get to the area where the water was. And then me and my kids was playing football. I cut my foot on a broken beer bottle, yo. I was like, yo, I'm out.
Take the extra 10 minutes, go to Nahant.
There we go. Yo, stay away from Revere Beach, yo. Nasty.
Yeah. I mean, this was years ago.
I'd rather swim in the Charles.
That's pushing it.
No. Yo, listen.
That's pushing it. I don't know if I would step foot in the Charles.
But the thing is, I'm old enough that back in the day, we actually do field trips back in the day and swam at the Charles River.
We used to do the boating, like the kayaking, but we didn't swim. We used to
go to the beach at Charles River back in the day, not to date myself. Yeah.
Oh gosh, no, I wouldn't
Life
do that.
choices.
Yeah.
Life choices. Listen, anyways, all right. So, so we said Puerto Rico. Where else?
Yeah. Like I said, somewhere beachy. You know, maybe like, I don't know, Cancun, Bahamas.
Okay.
I want to travel.
Okay.
You know, the last few years, the traveling has always consisted of car shows. That's it. You know, stayed in the U.S. The only places I've ever been in my life have been Portugal, Puerto Rico, and Dominican Republic. That's it.
You gotta shake it
I want to get out.
Tulum, Virgin Islands, Bahamas.
I have a cruise booked for February. So I'll do that with my bestie Des. We're gonna go.
How long?
She talked me into that one.
How many days?
7.
Oh, that's not bad.
She booked it and said, "Here's the website, pay for it." So.
Oh shit! So it's not bad. That's not bad. At least you're getting outside.
Yeah.
Is the port leaving from out here? Or do you gotta fly somewhere?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
This is terrible.
She really said, nah, but it's cool though. You know, sometimes you gotta say fuck it and just go.
Listen, Des is that person to be like, I bought tickets, we're going.
Okay.
And it's like, all right, cool.
But you need a friend like that though.
Everybody needs a friend like her. Everybody needs a friend. She has always been my travel buddy.
Okay.
I go into like that princess travel mode where I don't know a clue. I follow her around and she takes me where I need to go. So yeah, I honestly think it's 7 days, but it's definitely in February. And it'll be my first cruise. So like I said, I'm just trying to travel, do new things. And
Okay. So as we begin to wrap this up, I generally like to ask all my guests 2 questions. One, for you, with your experience as a model or just even being in the car scene, traveling with friends, you know, life partners at the time, things like that. What for you was the best year for you between either modeling or car scene, or even if you want to split the 2?
Yeah, so I'll definitely split it. Not last year, the year before was definitely my best modeling year. It's when I met Rachel. I had worked with, I was actually out modeling. I had a deal with her. It was like bi-weekly. So I was making a ton of content. Again, it builds the confidence.
Yeah.
You know, I was going through a rough time. We were in the middle of COVID. Everybody was, you know, stuck home. It was just, you know, you sit home and you're like, what does like life become? Like we're all, you know, trapped in the house. We can't go out, you know. You were trying to do the car meets. You were trying to do, but it just like, there was no motivation there. So she definitely pulled me out of that. So we were shooting bi-weekly and the confidence just went up. And I haven't really modeled the last year. I did one shoot, I want to say it was January. So I definitely want to get back into it this year. Now that everything's kind of like settled down and, you know, I'm getting back into everything. I definitely want to get back into it this year.
Okay.
But I would definitely say 2015, 2016 for the car shows.
Yo, I'm going to start making a board for the years because everybody says around that period for us. I don't know if it's just because I'm inviting a lot of people that's within my generation.
Yeah.
But like, because I've had older people come by, and not to call you guys old, but you know, they kind of said the same thing. So yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
I mean, it's when we all came together. I think, I mean, I know you've had a lot of different people on the show, but that was where my core was built. It was my first year in the scene. I'm still friends with all of those people that I met in 2015. I just think it was the time where, like we said earlier, it was, you know, just hanging out doing nothing. I mean, we talked about like the Wendy's meets, you know.
It was the gang, you know.
You would pull up to Wendy's.
JC, it was Rishi, it was Ariel,
Chispo,
it was Chispo, it was
Eric
Panda,
Cameron, I mean,
and, you know,
Anthony.
Eric Canalone, you know, everybody. It was a whole group of us, and it was like fam. It was Mike.
I mean, we were going out
Sonny,
to breakfast in like the beach, like to hang out. Like we weren't even doing car stuff a lot of the time. That was just the time.
Matter what banner you were really repping, it was just everybody was just fam.
That's another thing.
It was like it was East Coast Alliance and it was Tuna Sides, but it was all fucking love. Anyways, it didn't matter.
Nowadays, I feel like it's big on like, you know, the people sit and they're like, okay, I need to find a team. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Go out, do your own thing. If the team comes, cool.
Yeah.
Find your core and then go off of that. Because, I mean, I had plenty of banners on my car. I mean, it wasn't like, this is who I rep and that's it. I mean, you just got to like find your family because that's who's going to be with you till the end anyways. Whether I don't have a car and I still talk to these people.
Yeah.
You know, like
because
I can still,
family.
like I can call anybody and be like, I need help, and they're going to be there. So that's what you're going to find. It's at the end of the day, the clubs and everything are cool, but it's all the family that you meet along the way.
All right, cool. Now, the second part, and always the disclaimer for you guys, not to get morbid or anything like that, but I do have to say this. Amongst your peers, family members, people in the scene, people who see you and follow your content with modeling and everything like that, and support you in the positive way. Fuck those other people. Yeah. What's something that you want to just be known for, you know, or known by? What's a stamp or a mark you want to leave within the community or your peers?
I mean, what do I want to leave them with? I mean, I just want to be that person that's there for everybody, you know? Like, I think the girls have this big stigma that, you know, if you're a car girl or, you know, just a girl in the scene, you're unapproachable. You're, you know, like, oh, I can't ask her this because, you know, she's keeping everything to herself. Yeah. And it's not. Like, let this generation of girls, because the girls are coming out this year. It's kind of crazy, like, how many more. When I started, there was only a handful of us.
I know.
Now, I mean, the girls are taking over. So it's like, be a girl's girl. Help the girls out. You know, if you know something that she doesn't, help her out. You know, share that knowledge and stop letting what the guys want to say hold you back. You want to work on your own car, go work on your own car. You know, they want to put you down because you did something wrong, learn from it. But be a girl's girl. Like, yeah, let's all help each other out at the end of the day.
Yeah, because the guys be on your ass. They do. I'm not going to lie.
They're intimidated. That's all it is.
They call out all the mods and how you got the mods and all sort of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's not every guy, because a lot of guys do support the females, but there's some guys out there that throw some jabs and some shade.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help when you see other females throwing shade as well, too. So.
And that's what I mean. Like, be a girl's girl. Like, don't be that girl to be standoffish and, you know, not want to help everybody else. The guys are already giving us crap. Like, let's, you know, get together and just
whoop the guy's ass.
Yeah. I mean, let's take all the first places this year, so.
Yo, trust me, I seen the heat with some of these females are bringing, yo, and it's not going to be too hard. It's not going to be too hard. So.
No, but yeah, no, just, you know, help out as best as I can, and that's all we can do.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come chill by the podcast and, you know, share some of your thoughts and insights. You want to tell people where they can find you at as far as the socials?
ChrissyxCurlz on everything.
All right, cool. All right, guys, we all know the vibe. Stay up, stay blessed. Peace. That's honey.